health and wellness segment with our health and wellness coach, Neelofer Basaria. How are you, Neelofer?
I am doing well, Aisha. How are you?
Good. Always a pleasure to have you in the
Thank you.
studios with another very, very important topic. Let me remind our listeners that you can find Neelofer at her Instagram handle, Dr. Basaria. She has a Facebook group, Beyond Weight Loss Root Cause Healing for Women.
There you go, Aisha.
I'm
You did
cheating.
it today.
Beyond Weight Loss Root Cause Healing for Women is her Facebook group जहाँ पे वो live आती हैं and also provides some very very important tips to help women struggling with their weight. So today we are talking about digital overload, scrolling, stress, and the disconnected mind. It's something we all know we should not be engaging in, but we do.
Yes, we do.
But does this actually have a connection with our weight as well and our mental well being? This is what we are going to talk about today. So, Neelofer, let's start off with the first question, that why are people feeling mentally exhausted when they are not even physically doing all that much?
Yes, such an important question, right? We are all feeling drained, overwhelmed, and exhausted, right? So just know that people are not physically overworked, but they are neurologically overfed. That's what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, Back in the days, the physical exhaustion used to come from physical labor.
Yeah.
But now what's happening? Now all the exhaustion is coming from our nonstop notifications,
Mm-hmm.
news, reels, comparison,
Mm.
productivity pressure. You see? All of these things are creating a lot of exhaustion. And people don't realize, but our brain takes this constant stimulation as unresolved stress. It is unresolved stress, even though you're sitting on your couch
Mm.
scrolling,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're constantly going from a sad video to a funny video to a breaking news to a health advice to somebody's perfect vacation. You see? So brain is constantly switching, and that is creating a lot of overwhelm and exhaustion for your mind, for your
Mm-hmm.
brain.
Mm-hmm.
And when your brain is exhausted, the body will feel that exhaustion. The body will feel tired. People can't sleep properly because their mind is going. So you
Constantly.
cannot constantly going. So you cannot even put yourself down to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes difficult because you're up for so late. So
But
you
this
see,
is
all of this is showing up in physical form, but it's all mental.
But this is supposed to be to A, to help us. B is supposed to be for our recreation, connection, human connection, Instagram and Facebook, and even playing games. But it's actually causing more stress.
It is. It is. And every technology, digital technology, you can use it to harm you or you can use it to enhance you,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So that is with everything. But what actually social media is doing, Aisha, is it's very, very gradually it's sneaking comparison in our
Hmm.
lives.
Hmm.
Okay. So comparison used to happen occasionally, but now it is living in our pockets, right? With our
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
because of social media. So our minds we were never made as humans to compare ourselves
Hmm.
from thousands of people in one single day,
Wow.
right? But now that is what is happening.
You're seeing the perfect body image
Yes.
and what pressure that is causing, right? We are seeing curated content, how the perfect woman needs to look like, with no pores, light skin, long straight hair, big eyes, full lips, high cheekbones, and young.
Yes. So the standards for success, the standards for beauty all has changed,
Mhm.
right? So now all of a sudden you are not feeling successful enough, attractive enough,
Mhm.
productive enough, happy enough.
Mhm.
Because this comparison, it's very slight and it sneaks in. So a person
Subtle.
is working all day, right? Doing the right things,
Mhm.
but all of a sudden they will start feeling unsuccessful if they are going through the reels and they are seeing people's luxurious lifestyles.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you all of a sudden you feel like I'm not successful,
Right. So, what is
right?
this doing to our emotional health?
Yeah, so research has shown that social media has increased our anxiety levels, depression,
Mhm.
loneliness, um, people not feeling productive, dipping down our self esteem.
Mhm. Goodness.
Yes.
Very harmful. Very, very harmful. Okay. What about addiction? Do you feel that people are addicted to their phones? And especially, we see this in our kids' generation.
Yeah. People are not addicted to their phones, they are addicted to the escape, escaping their discomfort. They're addicted to that. So, why do you go to social media? When you're bored,
Mm.
you feel lonely, you feel stressed,
Mhm.
you're sad. So,
Pressure.
pressure.
Hmm.
So, rather than addressing that, we instantly want to go to distract ourselves with social media,
Hmm.
right? So, the mind is sort of unlearning calm, peace, stillness. And stillness is where healing happens. It is where
Mm.
self reflection happens. It is where creativity happens. But our mind is sort of forgetting that
Hmm.
because of this constant overstimulation.
Interesting. So, what I have always learned is that in order to be creative, you need to be bored.
Yes.
So we're taking out that element of boredom from our lives and we're filling our lives and filling our brain with just mindless scrolling.
Scrolling.
So therefore, our brain doesn't have that downtime where it can be creative. Correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that is a problem. So we are more addicted to the escape that we are getting from social media, and that is why we constantly keep on going.
Mm. What about our nervous system and our sleep patterns? Do they get disturbed as well?
Excellent question. So, Aisha, you cannot expecting that I am going to have a peaceful, restful sleep after I have overstimulated myself throughout the day.
Hmm.
It's a wrong expectation. People think that caffeine affects my sleep.
Hmm.
So I should not be having caffeine and not even right before. Oh, I don't want to have this chai or coffee because I'm going to bed in 2 hours, right?
Right.
So that's what people think.
Hmm.
But we are constantly overstimulating our minds with watching TV at night, right? So whatever the news is,
Hmm.
whatever the drama that they are creating, intense drama, like the programs, that we are addicted to, where
Hmm.
there is this intense drama and, binge watching that we do because
Hmm.
there's another cliffhanger and another cliffhanger, right? So when we stimulate our mind so much at night before sleeping, what is
Can't.
that doing? It is very difficult to then sleep restfully
Hmm.
at night after stimulating yourself. So, very important. If you can have a sleep routine, our brain needs some downtime before going to deeper into the sleep.
Hmm.
Okay. So, having a sleep routine is much better than sleeping with TV on
Yeah.
and then falling into sleep, because that will give you a disturbed sleep and you will not sleep restfully, and especially the content that you are consuming,
Hmm.
right before you go to bed. So having a proper night routine with taking your shower and massaging your body and having light music and stretching a little bit, writing your to-do list for tomorrow so it's out of your system, having, writing those gratitudes
Mm-hmm.
for the day.
Mm-hmm.
This is all creating some downtime, some relaxation, some, so mind is not so stimulated.
Yeah.
Now when it'll go to sleep, it'll be much better. So that's what I suggest to my clients. I've spoken about that time and again here as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? So do not overstimulate your mind. You will not get a restful sleep.
Right before you go to sleep. And
Mm-hmm.
that's such a good point, because I've seen people who say that 3 बजे या 4 बजे के बाद we cannot have any tea or coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But end तक आप social media scroll कर रहे हैं, like you're saying, watching these um, dramas and or dramatic things on Netflix and, and movies and things like that. So then how can the body and your mind calm down
Yeah.
before you go to sleep? Such
And
a
then
good
that
point.
is creating so much pressure physiologically too. Then you're waking up at 3 4 and you're like, I am waking up to go to the bathroom, but your bladder is feeling the pressure of all that stimulation. And you see, so there's like physical changes that need to happen in your body for
Mhm.
that bladder to not get overstimulated, and mental.
Mm.
If you're mentally so overstimulated, you're not going to have restful sleep. You will wake up, and then a lot of people tell me that when I wake up, it is very difficult for me to go back to sleep because the mind
Mm.
is constantly going,
I see.
right? So, because mind is unlearning stillness,
Mm-hmm.
it is always in the go. And during the day, that is only the thing that you have taught it.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you wake up, oh my God, how can I go back to sleep?
Okay. Interesting. So, Nilofer, we know this,
Mm.
right? We've, of course, done so many shows on this topic. We hear the research. Everybody says it's so bad for you. Why do people still engage in these habits?
Because a lot of times, Aisha, awareness is not going to just create changes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Awareness does not break patterns. Support, structure, safety, that is needed
And
to
action.
break an action,
Mm.
to break patterns,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, I know all about it. But if I'm not translating it into action,
Mm-hmm.
the transformation will not happen.
Mm.
It's only entertainment. And a lot of times people blame themselves that, hey, I know better. And I promised myself, but I could not do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know all about it. We know this, right?
Yep.
And we fall into the pattern,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, very important that understand that human behavior is not driven only by logic. It is deeply driven by emotion.
Mm.
Okay, so if we are feeling overwhelmed, bored,
Mm-hmm.
stressed, sad, what is the instant relief? Social media will give you that instant relief,
Mm.
right? Same like when we talk about eating. I'm feeling low energy. I am just constantly running. I don't have time to eat. So I grab a chocolate, I grab a bar from here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Because what that will do, or fast food, instant relief,
Yeah.
dopamine, right? That
Mhm.
rush. So we are going for that. That's why we stay stuck in the cycle. So a lot of people who understand this, they stay stuck in the cycle because they have not worked deeply or they have not found any structure or support. Sometimes we need proper way of detoxing.
Mm-hmm.
We need accountability. We need a human to tell us, hey, you
Yeah.
need some break.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Right?
Right.
So you need that support, the structure that I talked about,
Mhm.
emotional safety. How do I work with my emotions in a different way than constantly going to social media?
But how do we know that this is too excessive, right? How do we know that this is not just, mindless, chalo 5 minute यहाँ, 1 घंटा यहाँ, 2 घंटे यहाँ हमने spend कर लिया scrolling social media? How do we know that it is affecting our emotional well-being?
Yeah, very good question. So, a lot of people normalize these behaviors, you know, um, and a lot of people normalize emotional overwhelm too. This is part of life. If I'm even feeling exhausted, this is part of life. But just know that there's some places you can actually see that it is affecting you emotionally. Okay, some signs.
Mm-hmm.
And those are if you are feeling restless in silence,
Mm-hmm.
if you cannot sit in silence, definitely it has gotten you. It
So you
has
pick up your
affected
phone.
you. Yeah.
Uh,
You pick up your phone even without realizing it, or you find yourself constantly picking up your phone when there is any discomfort and you want to distract yourself.
mm-hmm.
Definitely it has gotten you then, right? You cannot sit in stillness. Any discomfort, you go to your phone. Unknowingly, unintentionally, you are going to the phone. You are multitasking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If your mind is not settled in one place for one task for, say, 15, 20 minutes, and you're constantly finding yourself, oh, I think of this, and then I went there. I
Mm-hmm.
think of this, and even doing household chores. You've not finished one chore and you're into another one.
Right.
This is a sign that this is impacting you emotionally. This has totally gotten over your attention span.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel anxious when you are a little bit disconnected with your phone, and this creates anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
It does for people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you are exhausted even after resting, and you just feel like, oh God, I'm not looking forward to this day. You wake up and you're like, I have to go, and then
Mm.
go, and then go. So then that means that all of this media, all of that we are consuming, and all of that, maybe you are in a constant go and you're so overwhelmed with work
Mm-hmm.
that you're not looking forward to the next day. All of these things are giving you a sign that you need to take care of your emotions, you need to take care of your priorities and what you're consuming.
I have seen this, and I've talked to friends that sometimes the first thing that people do when they wake up is not even reach for the glasses, is reach for the phone. And as soon as they're on their phone, the first thing that they will tap is not their emails or their text messages, is social media,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And that bombardment begins right off the bat.
Yes.
We all know that what is it we have to do? We have to put those boundaries in. Why don't we do it? Everybody's told us don't reach for the phone first thing when you wake up. We still do it.
Yeah.
Why?
Like I said, sometimes it is a pattern that has been created in our mind. So a lot of times, logically, you know that I should not be doing it. But you really have to break that pattern,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is an intentional effort that you need to do. And when there is no support, no accountability, and you don't know how to work with all these emotions, if you've not done the deeper work, how to regulate your emotions, then the instant relief seems better. It
Mm-hmm.
seems okay in the moment.
And sometimes we justify it. Oh, I need to do this for my work.
Yes. So we will find many justifications
Mm.
because we are going for a quick fix,
Yeah.
right? So if you wanted to do a long-term fix, then you have to go through a structured way, through a supportive way.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to actually learn how, when discomfort happens, when all this exhaustion happens, when I am emotionally a wreck, how do I cope with that?
Mm-hmm.
So, there are some instant things that I can tell you that you have to do in the moment, and then go for a long term approach,
The root cause.
the root cause. So, instant things, what can you do? If you're listening and you're like, okay, what can I do today? All right. I would say create some intentional boundaries. This is intentional boundaries, which means I have to follow it. And boundaries, remember, are not for other people, boundaries are always for you. So when you are doing this with kids too, a lot of times we create boundaries for kids. We have to create boundaries for ourselves where we are not supporting their behavior that we are not agreeing with. That is a boundary for self, right?
Yeah.
So always, if you want to, say for instance, if you want to overcome this, some instant things on your own that you can do is create intentional boundaries, which, as you talked about, Aisha, morning, I go and touch my phone first. Some people say, and now the mind gives you the reason, hey, I touched my phone because I have to turn off my alarm. Get a $10 alarm for yourself. Like, how difficult is that?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But if you create a boundary and you say, I'm not going to go to my phone first thing in the morning, I'm not going to touch my phone. That is a very solid, very good boundary. Something that you have to just keep on doing for 7, 10, 15 days. Okay. So if you create the habit of not going to your phone, sunlight before screens can be another boundary.
Sunlight before screens.
Yeah.
So good.
Just go outside, just look at the sun, just stretch a bit, breathe, come inside, have your food, whatever, your coffee. Coffee not on an empty stomach. I always say that. But whatever your morning chores are, right? And then getting into the screen business, pouring into yourself first.
Yeah.
Doing something for your physical self, for your mental self, which includes sunlight, stretching, breathing, walking, whatever. Some people read religious texts in the morning. Whatever, pouring into yourself, right? So if that is an intentional boundary that we are creating, very important. Allowing sometimes boredom to, I'm going to let boredom come in. It's okay. And I will sit with stillness. Not a boundary can be not scrolling while eating. I'm going to just sit with my food and eat. That is also another boundary.
Yeah.
Connecting with my hobbies more.
Do you even have hobbies?
Do you even have hobbies? Because we are all like, we used to love to read,
Yeah.
Enjoy music, paint, crafts and all. We are getting so digitalized that we are leaving all of that behind. That's very, those things are very, very important to actually, have that creative mind going, because it gives you some downtime in which the mind gets a break from constant going, right? So connecting with your hobbies, having an hour, on your schedule to just be with yourself. Maybe you are walking during that time, exercising, without phones, without any digital stimulation, right? So that is very important to start.
Okay.
But then just know that we cannot completely heal all these patterns, all these things by just removing phones. You have to learn to work with your emotions. If the root cause, which is your emotions, because of which you are going there, right? Because either we want entertainment, we want to get rid of boredom,
Yeah.
we want to get rid of loneliness, we want to get rid of stress, sadness, what have you, right? We are going to the phone and we're going to the digital media. If the root is in the emotions, then very important that we learn to deal with emotions, to regulate
Yeah.
our nervous system, to learn coping mechanism, to rewire our brain. So I would say those are the things that are very, very important. You cannot just, the goal is not to just get rid of phones. People do digital detox, don't they?
Yeah.
3 days without phone, 10 days
And
without
then
phone.
what?
And then what?
Yeah.
Because if the emotional pattern is there, then pretty soon it'll catch up.
The tendency is there.
The
So,
tendency is there,
yeah.
right? So you have to work on those emotional tendencies
Mm-hmm.
deeper, and you have to keep working on them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so I would say, seek support. Seek support, how to work with your emotions intelligently, how to um, rewire your mind. So that will be a long term approach.
Mm-hmm.
How can you sit with your emotions?
Mm-hmm.
How can you pause when there's a lot of emotion that's going on?
Okay.
How can you reflect? What is the reflection there?
Okay.
How you can rewire your mind? That is all that can be learned. It's
Mm.
not rocket science. It can
Right.
be learned. But when you are in the grip of all of this, it's difficult. That's why even athletes who know how to play the game,
Mm-hmm.
they need a coach
Yeah.
to give them feedback, to give them support, to give them the strategy, to because the coach sees it from the outside, what's
Absolutely.
going on, right? So that is why for long term, I would say, seek support. Short term, create some intentional boundaries for yourself so you can rescue yourself on a daily basis from these things.
Hmm. And I'll ask you about some of those strategies. We have a caller, Radio Azad. You're on the air.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम नीलोफर एंड आयशा
Walaikum assalam, Shahida ji.
Walaikum salam.
हाँ जी या इट्स एक्चुअली थैंक यू फॉर रिमाइंडिंग कि बाउंड्री जो है वो हमारे लिए होती हैं नॉट फॉर द अदर पीपल एंड देन आफ्टर लिसनिंग टू यू आल्सो आई थिंक वी हैव टू मेक अ कॉन्शियस decision to leave the digital thing, somewhere else to not to get into that trap. Okay, you are so right that when we are bored or we are like और हम किसी चीज को एड्रेस नहीं करना चाहते, we don't want to deal with something, then we just pick up the phone and we start scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to actually, it is really a very good reminder to deal with that thing instead of just scrolling and get away what the um, matter is
Yeah.
and pay attention to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
thank you for reminding.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, absolutely. See, this is something that is
Escapism.
needed, yes, constantly needed. And as humans, we know, but we need reminders for sure. And if you are in a place where you actually are so overwhelmed and so exhausted and don't know the healthier coping mechanisms and how to rewire, you should seek support. It's better to get support than go deep into that hole more,
Mm-hmm.
right? And seeking support, it's a sign of strength.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a sign of strength. It's not weakness.
Absolutely. Do you think these timers work that which limit, you being on your phone or certain app for like, let's say, 30 minutes or an hour? Do they work?
I think, if you want to intentionally create a habit in the moment,
Mhm.
like remember, everything is a temporary solution, and then we have to go to the permanent solution. But what we are doing, our mind is sort of unlearning stillness and unlearning, being with ourselves. So if you are intentionally creating time, say to 15 minutes to breathe
Mhm.
or walk
Mhm.
or just be with myself and just do just laugh or just do an activity that I feel very good about, like painting or coloring.
Mm.
So the intentional creation of that time is going to give that speed breaker to the brain, because brain is constantly going, all right? So all of that productivity pressure, your tasks in the day, one after the other.
Mhm.
But so that's the speed. So what does a speed breaker does? It just breaks that speed a little,
Yeah.
and then we can go, and then it breaks the speed. So
Mhm.
these are sort of speed breakers, and they are very important. And you're sort of intentionally trying to teach your mind that, hey, We are in the sympathetic nervous system, but we have to come to the parasympathetic nervous system too, because brain is a learning machine. Whatever you will feed it, it'll learn.
Yeah.
So garbage in, garbage out. That's also what we say, right? So now constantly, if the mind is unlearning stillness, then it will be very uncomfortable with stillness.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly teach it.
Absolutely. And I also find, Nilofer, that, the days that I'm like super busy and like
Go.
go, I hardly pick up the phone and I don't miss it, But the days that things are slower, again, it's replaced, like as you're saying, that those down times and boredom times. So maybe if we schedule ourselves, okay, here is my reading time, or I have to schedule it, and or here is my, you know tasbih time, or here is my meditation time, or here, like if we actually
Yes.
schedule that in, then that will replace a lot of this mindless scrolling that just, and I also feel that this mindless scrolling is a form of procrastination, you know and literally you have to pull yourself away and say, hey, I need to focus, I need to get this job done,
Absolutely.
right?
So a lot of people, like we said, go to social media because of boredom, or they are trying to push something that is hard and I don't want to address it.
Yeah.
So let's just use this time for going to social media. A lot of kids, they take break from work by going to social media. They're thinking, people think that taking a break from exhaustion is going on a digital device. There is no break. This is constant stimulation. But because of that dopamine response, like exactly what happens when we take fast food or sugar, an instant response, we are kind of confusing this with, okay, this is my break time. Your break time is sort of downtime. Remember, it's downtime for your brain. It's like less activity, not
Yes.
stimulation.
Yeah.
So creating that reading time, creating that crafting time, creating that time for exercise, just being with my body, walking time, breathing time. Very important. Schedule your appointment with yourself on your calendar. We put everybody else on our calendars.
Yeah.
Put yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's very, very good advice. And I feel like since this advent of social media, I mean, I feel I've almost gotten ADHD with all this scrolling that is taking place.
Yes. Yes,
Insta
this
and
phenomenon is
TikTok.
real. Like ADHD at 45.
Really?
We're seeing this, like, because our attention spans are getting so much shorter, right? Because we are not teaching the brain to stay still on an activity because of the bombardment of these reels and one after the others, because of scrolling. Like we said, we are in a sad state, and then we are in a funny state, and then we are in a happy state, and then we are in a health advice state, and then we are comparing, and then we are feeling pressured, and you constantly, we are just switching, and that is creating so much exhaustion for the brain. It's creating a lot of stress response inside in the body, right? And brain is not, we are not getting the downtime that we actually need.
Yeah.
So we are confusing downtime with, or rest time with, okay, this is just, imagine this is sugar for your body.
Yeah.
If you despise sugar and taking a lot of sugar with respect to whenever we talk about food and eating, the first thing we talk about, hey,
Sugar.
take sugar out from your body. Similarly, this is immediate dopamine response. You should not be going to that intentionally. Intentionally create time for some concentrated activity, be it reading, be it breathing, be it writing, be it painting, be it cooking. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Very, very good. Any message in particular for our kids? Because it's just such a part of their fabric, their daily fabric.
Mhm. I would tell them, be physically active, be in your body more than being in your mind. because if you're constantly being in your mind, it's going to create a lot of overwhelm. If
Mhm.
you're constantly on social media, unknowingly, you're going to compare yourself with others, and your life will never feel full enough, happy enough. You will not feel successful, productive, attractive enough, and your self esteem will go down.
Yeah.
Your self esteem will go down, and you need to be successful in what is coming ahead in your life. You need the full version of you with confidence, with this knowing that I can be okay and I can do things. Um, Social media will not serve you in that area to build a higher self esteem.
Yeah.
So have downtimes there. There are times you can go, but managing your time and being very conscientious about this, being very intentional about this,
Mhm.
because it is here to suck everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if you're honest with, you know, this is the time I'm going to go on social media, and then that's it. Intentionality matters.
Absolutely. And I was reading that actually digital overload weakens our emotional awareness, right? As you also were talking about, it numbs our emotions. We consume reactions rather than processing our own feelings.
Right. We don't get time, or because we are so stimulated and overstimulated that we don't get time to actually process our emotions. And that's why we are seeing higher anxiety levels, depression, loneliness,
Mhm.
low self esteem, because we are not processing, we are not getting time to process our emotions.
Yeah, great. It's such invaluable advice. And if anybody who is listening to this, who has related to this episode and says, oh my goodness, that is me in a nutshell, it's never too late. And I think if we do those small changes, in our life, maybe as Nilofer talked about, some wonderful advice, getting up in the morning, what we shouldn't do, and, going to sleep as well, a couple of hours before, put the phone away. Let's not reach for our phone as the last thing we do before we go to sleep. So,
Yeah.
a lot of great advice and tips.
Absolutely. So do those, instant action items that we've talked about. And then for long term health, seek support. Create your groups, maybe, create your accountability partners, or seek support from a professional to kind of take you out from this if you are really struggling with it.
Mhm.
Because if you don't seek help, you're going to go deeper into the hole. And that is getting more difficult for you to come out, right? So do these things, some active action.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Thank you so much. You can reach Nilofer at her Insta handle, Dr. Basaria, where it's DRBASARIA. And she has her Facebook group, Beyond Weight Loss, Root Cause Healing for Women. And she really works with small groups, works one on one as well, whatever the need is, and is life changing. Take my word for that. Thank you so much, Nilofer, for an incredible